How much brain rot do you think my brain can handle today? Ow! Oh! Oh! Ah! Oh! On the table today at SquirrelStampede, we've got brain rot builds, brick building brain rot builds to explore, discover. There's 8 of them, and they are rotifying my brain as I'm even speaking right now. I've actually gone through a couple brain rot games myself over at SquirrelStampede Gaming, the original steal of brain rot, and then Plants versus brain rot seemed like the logical conclusion because I always like plants versus zombies. So now we gotta build them. We gotta figure these guys out, and we've got a few building sets to go through. So continue with me as I rot my brain. Oh, ooh, ah.
SquirrelStampede. Please
Squash share.
All right, what do we got here? What do we got here? Tiny, I wouldn't stand right there. Incoming, a lot of bags. I've got 8 brain rots to build. Oh, mini builds, bagged, packed, and instructionized per brain rot. I like how these were sent to me. The boxes were all flat, and the bags of pieces just a jumble. And these are numbered with Tung 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 Sahur as number 1, Tralalero Tralala number 2. Do like sharks. Bombardino Crocodilo, I like that one. I may build this one first. That's number 3. And Berber Patapim. This one's always fun, but I can never say it very well. Bonica Ambalu Labu. And what else is in here? Well, let's just get to building some of these. Ooh, La Vaca Saturnita. Interesting. So it's Bombardino Crocodilio for our first build. Ooh, now the second part. How do I figure out what is what? I guess just kind of sort through these colors. That's gotta be that Saturn one. Thinking maybe this one. No, this one. Gotta be that one. It's been a while since we've toiled with off-brand Lego generic brick. It's always a disasterino, am I right-o? So basic build instructions to make one go mad, and some basic stickering to exponentiate the crazy 8 of my brains. What do we got, squirrels? Let's get some pieces ready for step 1. And we begin our build with a simple 2x2. Gotta say, for that first squeeze, not too bad, not too bad. I think in the last couple years the off-brands are getting a lot cleaner, but that is never a total given. As I think I can see a piece broke already. Yeah, look at this wing. Melted much, have we? And then there's always questionable build techniques like taking this piece here, placing it here. We're gonna affix it to the wing, but this piece never really fixes onto anything other than a spacer. Oh well, it's a micro build. It's not perfect. As long as it flies, right? As long as it flies.
I don't think it's gonna fly, Dan.
Anyone recognize a crocodilo yet? Maybe if I add some wings, that should really help. Not much structural help as of yet, though. Try not to crash your crocodilo. I really think this one will be the funnest one to fly around the house, though. Oh, this is a fun idea for the props. A steering wheel atop a cylinder piece, giving it the propeller look. I gotta look closer at this guy. He's got missiles? Finally adding some contrast on this gray build. Alright, squirrels, assemble the crocodilo head pieces, please. Oh, I see how you are. You want me to do it. Alright. Build some of these up quickly. We get a crocodilo head. And so this should just clumsily affix to the back end of our bomber. Oh, we already lost a jaw. That's a problem there. One post of weakness. We got it. Our Bombardino Crocodilo. Well, that's not too interestingly stupefied, is it? It's got what you needed to know to build a crocodilo. I can see some brain rot in there. And as for stickers, I don't really want to load up everything. Maybe just these canopy pieces and the eyes. Okay, I ended up adding all the stickers. They just look better, and now it really feels like a Bombardino Crocodilo. Did I get those on backwards? It doesn't matter. It's a really cute brain rot to start our day. How about Bonica and Balabu for my next build? I had a slight overreaction the first time I saw one of these guys walk out. And I'm pretty sure I've never built anything like this before in Lego. Help me out, squirrels, find our first set of pieces. So what is this guy, like a frog head on a wheel? I don't entirely speak Brainrot, so I kind of miss some of these. But they are certainly pretty funny when they are all together, pretty silly. Ugh, build technique on this is hideous. If I got that right, I don't know. It's like the most complicated thing I've ever built. I can't even understand its complexities. I kind of miss the days when brick building was so simplified. Everything is so over the top nowadays. Oh great, I have to build another one of these things that my brain barely contemplates? I think they've successfully captured rotting one's own brain, especially assembling this piece on top of this. It's almost impossible. Oh, well, I got it that time. If you're using me as a guide on this build, run very far away because I am total winging this. I really hope I'm doing this right. You gotta have micro-sized brain eyes to read these. Things might start coming up a Millhouse here though, as I'm starting to get some sort of tire resemblances. Oh, not exactly a perfectly round tire, is it? Kind of. Got it. Now, when you see a tire on the side of the road, what is the first thing you start thinking? That's right, we gotta start building that tire some legs.
What's that you say?
I say build it some legs. No one takes a tire seriously without legs.
That's right, Dan. And you better add a frog head on that too to really make sense.
That you're right, Barry, that you're right. I think everyone agrees we need to build a frog head for the top of this thing. I have really no idea what it is trying to tell me to do here. Okay, I think I received my first official brain bruise on the build of this frog's head. The way they described it in the instructions will severely bruise your brain. But I now think I finally have the direction of everything correctly. So it should finally start looking like a Bonica Ambalo. What do you think of that, squirrels? What do you think of that? Yeah, I think you're right. Let's add some stickers. Okay, that sort of helped. I'm still navigating the possibility that I got the heads of the frogs in the backwards direction wrong, but maybe we're okay with this walking tire frog Brainrot. One of the most weirdest builds I've ever worked on. But somewhat satisfying after I got through my brain bruise. I kind of like what I did there. So we can now build on to our third build. I think I'd like to test my build skills next with the Vaca Saturno Saturnita. A bovine cow planet thing with the ring? I may have not seen this one in game, but it's piqued my brain from continuous rot. And it is another something that I've never built before. This one's gonna come together really interesting, but I feel like it's another build that's going to give me another brain bruise by the end of this if my brain functions correctly, I tell ya. Okay, squirrels, once again, find me what I need to start with. There's a lot more in here than I thought there'd be. So much untechnical perfection. Almost reminding me a little bit of a Mixel's Orbiton with some of these spacey pieces here. Here we go again, my brain is starting to rot while doing this. Oh, that one really hurt that time. I don't know. This is some build techniques for the ages. Some of the most noodle hinges I've ever placed on something before. I think this pizza is done now with the two sides of Saturna. Great cow skulls of Eternia. Brave star, eyes of a hawk, ears like a cow. Brave star. He combines with the planet, brave star. I'm gonna suggest when you build the ring, place the stickers on now before the planetary mass is in its way. Brain rotting again. One can only withstand so many hairpiece build connections. Whew. Are these supposed to be cow toes? Oh, they're definitely not cow toes. I know what they are. And there she is, La Vaca Saturnita. Probably one of the hardest brain rots I've ever built. It just kept leveling up. Leveling up. My brain power was leveling down. It was rotting during the whole time of construction, but we seem to have got the weirdest cow uttery planet thing I've ever seen. Whatever I decide to build next better be a little bit easier because I keep going harder as we continue. Oh, I miss the days of the building of the Bombardino Crocodilo, as the La Vaca Saturno was just a little bit intense and just so weird. I guess we can just place this in the brain rot category of builds for sure. So what is next? What is next? Alright, let's just go through the rest in sequence. This was the #1 toy, Tung 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 Sahur, a meme for a baseball bat waking people up. Where did they come up with this? I'm hoping after the last few builds, this one will be easier. Could be the tallest brain rot in the collection too. We'll see how high it can get. And constructed, Tung 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 Sahur, one of the most ridiculous things and weirdest things we've built on the channel. And maybe a little sus inappropriate? I don't know. I doubt I'll keep this one around. It's really the least interesting brain rot out of this build collection. I murdered the stickers too. They're not adhering very well. They're either coming out very crooked or awkwardly placed, so that just helps this one fall down more. It's actually a marvel of build construction though, how this is even standing without brittly breaking apart yet. It should just brittly break apart. Things are in no way anchored down very well at all. It's very cheaply made and constructed. So Tung 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 Sahur might just get beat down and broken just through regular play. What an odd brain rot. I'll just put it back here. Alright, we're going Sharky with the second one. Might be the first, though, official brain rot, maybe? The Tralalero Tralala shark with sneakers, 3-legged. Might have some things going for it in the build, we'll see. I mean, if it wasn't for squirrels, it could have also been SquirrelStampede around here, right? Good color set of bricks. Got some grays, whites, and some sky blues. I think this one will turn out pretty interesting. Let's give it a build. And this might be the first one in a while since Bombardiro Crocodilo that is actually pretty simplified in construction. Tralalero, tralala, constructed. What a weird shark with tennis shoes. After the last three, not a very difficult build, although some of the one stud connections will always break off. Anytime you have one stud connections, it's gonna be pretty weak, but if you're fragilely careful, you'll get this shark with the shoes built. Good sticker work on this one. I actually nailed everything pretty tight except for those back kicks. I gotta get some of the sneaker stickers on there. The legs, the way they articulate are a little bit off. That's where they breaky point a lot. But out of all the brain rots so far, this is probably my second favorite, with Bombardino Crocodilo still one of my favorites. So good one on this one. What else do we have in the collection next? That brings us to #4 build, Burr Patapim. This guy I seem to always get in plants versus brain rot. I always seem to have this guy walking by and it doesn't really do much for me, but he's kind of fun to say, Burr Patapim. I think this is the guy's pieces. It's a little more tan and orange than I thought. Lots of orange, lots of little carrots. So we'll get this guy constructed up. I think he's going to be probably in the medium hard difficulty category. Anytime you see brick clusters like this where things are all coming in at different angles, they tend to be very difficult, but we'll see. Burr Patapim. So this is Burr Patapim constructed. Actually not too bad at all. It really just kind of flowed together. Maybe I'm just used to the brain rot chaos of these builds. I have not added the stickers yet. I can't decide if I want to. It's really going to change its appearance. it's gonna add a lot of texture to it, and sometimes I like brick builds to speak for themselves through the brick placement and the lineage there, so I kind of want to just leave this guy as is for now. I may add them on, but there is Berber Patabeam, kind of like a hyperactive soldier monkey hybrid or something. I usually try to avoid this one in collections. Certainly fills up the Brainrot collection. It's an important character. Okay, so where do we go next? We go with, oh boy, I don't think I've run into this one. I wouldn't even know how to begin to pronounce this one. Tobilotobi Tobilalip, maybe. I have not seen that one, or if I have, it's been just like back screen, not really noticing before. Kind of looks like a fun one to build though. Ugh, lots of micro pieces on this one, though. Lots of micro pieces. Well, let's do our best. Should maybe build up okay. We'll see. That fish on its head is gonna be probably the balancing challenge. Let's get this one constructed. Tobilotobi Tobilalip. Alright, to help me out, I'm just going to call this Brainrot Toby, but we got a fish on top of a bear's body. Is that what it could be? That is so weird and misbalanced in a way that that fish is just hanging onto that body, and it could topple over at any moment. All it's standing on right now are these little hingy feet that, if you're not right, you're going to tip over backwards or forwards. Actually, surprisingly though, now holding stable. And the build, it was a little tricky. This one's growing on me quite a bit. It's kind of funny. Oh, there goes an arm. Very weak points of stud. You can break this fish off, actually, if you want to have like them go off into separate adventures. It's fish and missing bear head guy. And so the ideas with this one are plentiful, and continues our Strange Building Blocks Brainrot series today. And that brings us to our last build, the last build in the pack. Larilla. Did I get that one right? Larilla. A little bit too much la la on that one. Elephant cactus. Okay. Anytime you combine a cactus with something, I'm in. That's all about the weirdness that I can think of to finish off today. Try not to lose pieces. There has certainly been no spare pieces with these, so be very careful with piece dropping. You do not want to lose a piece because you will be out of luck. Very well, let's continue and finish our last Brainrot. I'm gonna leave the sticker sheet off this one too, as I kind of like how it turns out without the texture, but I did, unfortunately, am missing a piece of tusk. I'm looking around my tabletop right now and I don't see it. It could have easily flew off as that bag opened with velocity. I'm gonna have to go back to gameplay and pay attention to this guy at some point, as I'm not sure how large it is in gameplay. It feels like it's something that should be much larger, being an elephant, but as a build here, it's kind of a medium scale, or maybe even smaller than some of the many here today. I like the build of this one with the cactus stalk feet, although they're pretty weak, they'll pop off pretty easy, but all the little spiky pieces they placed onto the back there look layered out pretty well in the construction. I enjoyed it. And I don't often get to a build of an elephant either, so the tusk and the trunk and the head with the big ears was really fun and interesting in construction. So this was one of my favorites in build process. Maybe not my favorite Brainrot, but a favorite build in this collection today. Oh yay, I just moved over Berber Patapim and I found the tusk. There it is. Yay, we got our tusk back. Again, there's no extra abundant Lego pieces here. They give you the pieces to the exact proportion, so you gotta get them right. Yeah, I think my favorite builds today up front were these three, the Bombardino and also the Tralalero Tralala. Whatever they did with the builds, they just seemed to come together pretty well. These two builds here were probably the hardest in complexity. I mean, look at this. You got a whole sphere hooked together by arms on its back, so that was really a challenge to get together just right. And a tire too, a rounded tire body, trying to get things flipped just in the appropriate direction made these two really tough, but they turned out looking kind of fun. I like the look of them. Still thinking this guy was the weirdest, not really that interesting, a little too tall and a little too brittle. And these two builds are actually pretty pleasant once I got to know them. They came out pretty quickly and look really well done for being such a low quality brick set piece. I should say improved low quality. There was a time when we looked at some of these brands of off-brand Lego brick and they were just horrendous. Just nothing came together, really tight, broken brick, but everything built fairly well, even though many of the construction techniques were pretty brittle, pretty basic, pretty one stud connection. But in the end, they all built like they should. When I first heard about the popularity of Brainrot, I wasn't sure where to go and what to buy. I wasn't really interested in the static figurines that do not move, and so when I saw the Lego off-brand Lego build-like things, I was like, okay, that's more me. I want to build and construct them and really see how they work inside. Which, of course, enhanced the rot of my brain about 10 times, but I think I may have gained a few brain cells in the fact that this was more of a technical thing than a full-on spoilage of my brains. I'm pretty sure, according to the diagram there, that I do not have much brain left. It's been rotted off. If you liked today's video, please give us a squawk, a squirrelibus, comment your favorite, most interesting brain rot. Don't forget we played a couple of these games over at SquirrelStampede Gaming. Check those out. Here's a few videos that YouTube recommends. Thanks again for watching. That's what I have to say about that.